her again through the Blue Book, and now they're doing all kinds of things with her. She is very, very young, but she's the director of an endocrinology center in one of the local hospitals, and it was just so incredible. Dominicans who came from the Dominican Republic to this event, they couldn't believe it that she was so young and so high up there. Another medical doctor, an immigrant woman who attended City College, but went through, the
traditional biology
and then, musicians, Mariano, businessman who went to Lehman College, graduated from Lehman in business, and is perhaps, I probably shouldn't say this, but one of the wealthiest men that we have here in the city. So stories like that. Pedro Rivera, who graduated from Hostos Community College, an NA program, and from there moved on to City College and finished a BA, and from there he went to Howard and finished a PhD in history, and is today the professor Savannah State University. So to us, that trajectory from a community then becoming a full-fledged published professor, it's just amazing.
Oh.
Yes.
This is exciting. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back to you with Dr. Ramona Hernandez, who is the director of the CUNY Dominican Studies Institute.
Thank you.
Quiero ser fiel a mi tierra y cantar sencillamente. Dominicano soy, de mis raíces no voy a olvidarme. Soy de una raza tan humilde y tan grande que de sus venas hacen rayos de sol. Toda humanidad. Oh, oh.
You're listening to WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem.
Welcome back to City Talk on WHCR 90.3 FM. Our guest today is Dr. Ramona Hernandez, director of the CUNY Dominican Studies Institute. CUNY DSI is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. I can't believe how time goes and flies. Oh, my gosh. Talk to me about your first Blacks in the Americas project.
It's a forthcoming project. We have been working on this project probably for 5 years now.
Wow.
We hope to unveil it this coming 2015. It is a website that is very, very ambitious. We had review and study carefully all of the other projects out there speaking about our ancestry, our Black ancestry, and we learned from them, and we wanted to add what was in our eye missing, and what was missing and what is missing in many of these projects is the story, the history of those first Blacks who came to the New World. They happened to arrive in what was called at that point, and still called La Española, which is an island share with the Republic of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. So we're talking about exactly 1492. The belief is that the first arrived during that time. So that story needs to be told. that slavery began there, but also resistance. This is the place where the first resistance or against the slavery, black slavery, manifested itself. 1522, and this is when the time when Spaniards wrote laws to punish and harm slaves who didn't like the ugly conditions in which they were living. So it's that tale that has not necessarily been told yet, because it just hasn't been part of the or the narrative. It's speaking about blacks. So it's your women, it's their cultural legacy, whether it's resistant or whether it's penetrating and transforming that society from the very first sugar mill that they were attached to, or cattle raising, for instance, everything, telling that those first 100 years.
Why do you think that was not part of the narrative here? Because it's such an important piece of the history of blacks in America.
I think
and in the Americas.
Yes, I think it have to do with the fact that all of this history is written in Spanish. And yeah, it's written in Spanish, and in order for you to get that, you needed to know the language. So it's also a failure on our part in the Dominican Republic not to have some of this stuff translated into English, into other languages. So I think it's you have situations in both places. It's not only happening with the Spanish language, but it happens with Chinese and Japanese and other languages where people have done enormous amount of work and we don't know because we don't speak the language, unfortunately. And this is why we're doing, rather than criticizing,
right,
we moving forward and putting that on the map, so that you will see the very first one that came and that were brought forcibly here, how they lived and what they did. And you will be amazed to know that the first hospital in the New World, it's believed, was done by a free black woman in Española. The first.
Really?
Yes. So this story needs to be
It needs to be told.
It needs to be told. And this is, we're talking about very early. We're talking about 1503, 1504. So the U.S. is still in the bellies of mamas and their mothers and their fathers.
How do you find these documents? What do you do? Can you talk about a little bit about the process?
And I'm glad that you're asking about that, because the Dominican Studies Institute might be the only source in the United States with over 100,000 copies of original documents pertinent to the 16th century, meaning 1500.
Really?
Right, and this is where you find that information. Of course, you need to know paleography to be able to read this, but because we knew that, the Institute also invented a program, a tool, which you can access through the internet and learn how to read those documents. The information is there. The one good thing about Spaniards is that they wrote everything, every date, everything.
And very detailed.
In very detail, exactly. Details such as how much they were going to cut somebody's fingers, specifically where, and why not this and why not that.
Wow.
So you can get that level of detail. And we're using what they call notarial records, which are the government records.
Mm-hmm.
We have over 100,000 copies at the Institute, the largest archival pertinent to 16th century in the U.S.
And it's all digitized now, or is it in original?
No,
it's all
it is
digitized.
It's all digitized. It's not accessible to the world. You have to come to the Institute. That's the second step, to make it accessible to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's everything is there. Everything is there, all that information. But it is amazing that from very early, you did not, in Española, you have, the process of emancipation, the process of slaves becoming free very early, very early as compared to other countries. And that had an impact in the mentality of the people, of blacks who lived in that place. And that is important to us, extremely important to us, because these are the people who will later build that nation, who will later build that country. So we need to be mindful of that.
Oh, that's wonderful. And this now at the CUNY DSI, this will become a resource internationally.
Yes.
As we go. How do you envision going from the digitized records that are now available if you come and study at the Institute to getting it out there globally?
We have
That's a challenge,
It
right?
is a challenge, but we have a network. We have contacts with institutes in Colombia, institute in Mexico, institutes of research in Peru, and this place, Puerto Rico, of course,
Right.
Cuba también, no? And why these places? Because these are the first places that were colonized by the Spaniards. First is Española. And from there, they go to Puerto Rico. This is 1493 in Puerto Rico and in Cuba. And then from Hispaniola is where Hernán Cortés, who go to Mexico, and the others. That's their base. It's from there that they leave to conquer the rest of the world, the rest of the New World. So we have made contact with these people, and they are as excited as we are, because this is a history that every one of us is interested in rescuing. It's part of our history that because you need to know paleography to be able to read the original document has sort of also been kept in the hands of an elite group. Not anymore.
See,
Not
and that's
anymore.
the key. The key
Not
is being
anymore.
able to get the information
Access,
out
exactly.
to people.
Access. Yeah.
And that's access it's everything. Just a couple of other things before. What time is it? Oh, we're almost finished already. I cannot believe it. You have to come back to the show.
Thank you.
But just before we end, can you tell us, a couple of years ago, the Dominican Studies Institute put on and produced a wonderful display on Amsterdam Avenue. Can you tell listeners about that?
Yes, it was a display showcasing the many geographic areas and the people, the cultural activities, practices of the Dominican people, from music to food to landscape, everything. And it was, as colorful as we are, from, very, very green to very, very red to very, very dark, very black, very brown. And I think, the attraction of that was to place this exhibit al fresco in the Amsterdam Plaza.
That's right.
Why the Amsterdam Plaza? Because it is open and it invites the community. And since it had electricity, people of the community sat on the benches in the evening. When many people left City College, I'm always here. People say,
I know you
always
work 24 hours a day.
You could come at 1 o'clock in the morning. There were people sitting on those
Wow.
benches, on those nice seats that you had created on the Amsterdam Plaza, just looking at those beautiful, beautiful photographs that were standing there, magnificent, pieces of art reflecting, all of these color. And I think that that's one of the most important thing that we have done, because it is bringing a community to a university. The fact that, we are open and people can sit down and enjoy the kinds of things that we do, from a professorial point of view, I don't think that you can do better than that.
And we need to do more and more of that.
Yes.
We really do. I think that is one of the things we need as a collective community to do, is to be a portal, not a gate,
Yes.
but a portal for everybody from the community to feel comfortable and learn from what we're learning. And we learn more, actually, from the community when the community
Yes.
comes and participates with us than even very often we know or think we know
Claro.
about
We
what's
have
going on.
ideas, they have the actions in their hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know this
Thank
was a
you.
short program. You have to come back in the spring again as we
Thank
sort of
you.
end the semester. Again, thank you, Dr. Hernandez, for being part of City Talk. Thanks to Tina Dixon, production manager at WHCR. The show is produced by Angela Harden, general manager of WHCR. I wish everybody a peaceful and wonderful holiday season and a happy and healthy new year. This is President Lisa Koiko of the City College of New York. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
This is a journey into sound.
We are on the air. Keep this frequency clear.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial.
Don't touch that dial. Keep it locked on WHCR 90.3 FM.
You need to keep it locked. Keep it locked.
The voice of Harlem.
Turn it up.
Welcome to WHCR's Community Calendar, keeping you abreast of events in Harlem and throughout the tri-state area. The following events will take place from Friday, December 6th through Saturday, December 13th, 2014. On Sunday, December 7th at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., the Dance Theater of Harlem presents the Holiday Delight Sunday Matinee. It features the Dance Theater of Harlem School in excerpts from The Nutcracker, Apollo Theater's Ellington at Christmas, a Kwanzaa celebration, and special guest artists. A wonderful event for the whole family. Call 212-690-2800 for ticket information. On Tuesday, December 9th at 12 p.m. at Rendall Memorial Presbyterian Church is the Harlem Afternoon Jazz Series, featuring the Carla Cook Quartet. A daring jazz singer and songwriter, Carla Cook puts her own jazz spin on traditional songs. For ticket information, call 212-283-2928. On Saturday, December 13th at 3 p.m., the First Union Baptist Church at 2064 Grand Concourse in the Bronx is hosting a gospel concert. Dinner will be available for purchase after the concert, and for ticket information, call 718-583-8726. Also on Saturday, December 13th at 9 p.m. at Silvana's is Miranda DiPerno with her band to provide a set of original music with soul, R&B, and jazz tunes. The show has no cover charge, and for more information, visit sylvana-nyc.com. If you have an event that you would like to place on our calendar, please call 212-650-7481 or email communitycalendar@whcr.com. Submissions must be made 3 to 4 weeks